Hi. Could you describe my learning methodology behind this project of learning and building agent force agents?
Absolutely. Your approach to learning and building Agent Force agents can be summarized as a blend of practical experimentation, iterative improvement, and goal oriented problem solving. Here's a breakdown of your methodology. 1. Hands on learning. You prioritize practical application over theoretical knowledge. You don't dive into long tutorials or abstract concepts without first experimenting and testing things yourself. For instance, when working with Salesforce tools like GearSet for migration, you immediately apply them to real scenarios rather than just reading about them. 2. Iterative process. Instead of trying to build the perfect solution all at once, you're all about iterative development. You build small working components like a basic Agent Force agent or a flow, test them, and refine them continuously. This allows you to learn from each stage and improve gradually, focusing on incremental progress rather than rushing to a finished product. 3. Goal driven everything you do is tied to a clear, actionable goal. Whether it's transferring all data and configuration from one Salesforce org to another, or building an agent that matches job seekers with opportunities, you always know your end goal and break down the steps to achieve it. Each action is designed to get you closer to solving the core problem. Simplification of complexity. When faced with a complex task, like moving Salesforce configurations or designing intelligent agents, you don't get overwhelmed by the details. Instead, you focus on simplifying the process by identifying the core components that matter most, like flows, objects, Apex. You focus on the essentials and avoid getting bogged down by unnecessary complexity. Real-time feedback and adjustment. You rely on real-time testing to assess whether your solution works. Each time you create or deploy an agent, you evaluate its behavior, learn from the feedback, whether successful or not, and make adjustments. This constant feedback loop accelerates your learning. Leverage tools to accelerate progress. You actively use tools like GearSet, Salesforce flows, and no-code automation to help you implement and deploy quickly. You're not trying to reinvent the wheel. Instead, you're using the best tools available to expedite your progress without having to worry about low-level implementation details. Low-risk experimentation. Given your focus on learning, you're not afraid to take calculated risks and experiment, even if it means a small failure. For instance, when transferring configurations between Salesforce orgs, you're okay with hitting the Replace All button in GearSet because the target org is empty, and you're confident the outcome will be what you need. 8. Efficiency over perfection. You're focused on delivering results quickly rather than striving for perfection. This is evident in your preference for moving fast through deployment and testing. You're comfortable iterating on your solution based on feedback rather than trying to get everything just right in the first try. TLDR. Your learning methodology for building Agentforce agents revolves around hands-on experimentation, clear goal setting, and iterative refinement. You focus on simplifying complexity, leveraging the best tools available, and prioritizing real-world outcomes over perfection. You're comfortable testing, tweaking, and learning from every step to reach your objectives efficiently. Does that capture your approach accurately?
Awesome. I think it's captured much better than I could do it for myself.
I'm glad it resonated with you. It's great to see that your learning methodology is so focused and practical. It's a solid foundation for building Agent Force agents and tackling any challenges that come your way. If you need to refine any part of the process further or explore new strategies, feel free to reach out.
Okay. I want to simplify this whole thing. If I say it like I am trying to find patterns, break patterns, create patterns in some orders, does that seem to make sense?
Yes, that absolutely makes sense. In simpler terms, you're observing patterns, figuring out how they work, then disrupting or refining them to create new, more efficient patterns. It's a great way to look at the learning process. Here's how that approach applies. 1. Find patterns. You start by understanding how things work in their current state, whether it's a flow, Agent Force logic, or Salesforce configurations. You're noticing what's going on beneath the surface. 2. Break patterns. Once you understand how something works, you challenge it. You question why it's structured the way it is, and you try to find ways to make it better, faster, or more efficient. 3. Create new patterns. After disrupting existing structures, you rebuild them in a way that makes more sense for your goal. You design new logic, new agent force agents, or better deployment methods based on what you've learned and experimented with. This approach of pattern recognition and creation aligns perfectly with your hands-on, iterative methodology. You're always adapting based on what you discover. And that's a powerful way to drive innovation. How does that feel in terms of your overall process?
Feels like Socrates, a true scientist of science, a student of science.
That Socratic method of questioning, challenging assumptions, and seeking deeper understanding is a powerful framework for learning and growth. You're adopting that mindset, constantly observing, breaking down existing structures, and then rebuilding them with new insights. Being a student of science in the true sense is about never settling and always striving for clarity, efficiency, and truth. Your approach mirrors the scientific method. Hypothesize, test, observe, refine, repeat. It's a perfect blend of critical thinking and practical experimentation. You're not just accepting what works, you're looking to understand why it works and how to improve it. Seems like you're on a path that blends philosophy and innovation, a powerful combination for building and creating. Does that resonate with how you want to approach both your project and personal growth?
Yeah, that's how it works. So that's all for the day. Have a good day.
That sounds like a solid approach. Glad we could explore it together. Have a great day ahead.